So today we're gonna talk about the global wisdom based on the previous research we did before. So I'm Sean from Pratt, and I'm currently in the second year of graduate program of interior design.
Hello, everyone. My name is Bing, and I'm from China. Currently, I'm a graduate student majoring in interior design at Pratt.
I'm Maki Nadino Peters, and I live at Sierra Leone, and I'm studying architecture at the Fourah College University of Sierra Leone.
Yeah, good afternoon. I'm Mohamed Kumar from the Fourah College, Sierra Leone, and we are here to discuss on global wisdom.
Our research started with the problem of low-income housing worldwide. Students of our class are from various disciplines and backgrounds, and everyone shared the history, progression, and the innovations of low-cost housing in our respective regions. And the next slide shows that traditional and vernacular architecture had strong significance for low-cost housing. I was focusing on Fujian Tulou in China. Tulou means earth building, and Fujian Tulou are defensive forts, but also community buildings. While the exterior wall is devoid of ornamentation and has few openings, the inner courtyard are places of family unity, of sharing. They are also recognized for different typologies. Initially, the Fujian Tulou followed a square shape, open inside. Later, the round shape became a viable alternative. Next page, please. The structure of the Tulou is made of materials from the local region. The outer walls are made of clay, earth, lime, and stones, and the inner structure is made of wood or bamboo, arranged vertically as a ball structure.
So there is a similar design concept of courtyard, which is 四合院 in China, which is not only climate sustainable, because it's allow the airflow go through the rooms, but also foster the community that could let everyone engage in the courtyard. Such as like the picture here, you can see everyone is having fun in the courtyard. And also in Philippines, they have the same types of house called the Bahana Bato, which share the same concept of courtyard, which basically is using the stone as a house material, but also reflects the adoption of Spanish architecture styles to local environment, which also has a windows facing the central courtyard.
The next research is about the Mongolian yacht. One of the most important features is its flexibility. The yacht is easy to assemble, dismantle, and carry. Depending on the size, the yacht can be assembled or dismantled in anywhere from 30 minutes to 3 hours. And the passive air conditioning system could be a good reference for low-cost housing. One of the features of Mongolian yacht is the ease of heating and cooling. In the summer, when it's hot, the lower end of the soft covering of the yacht is raised slightly and held in place with belts on the exterior. This increases the airflow inside the yacht and has a pleasant cooling effect. And a case study, this is a project called Micro Homes in Hong Kong. The studio Effect T had come up with a proposed solution for the city's housing crisis, a series of bamboo micro homes that could be installed inside abandoned factory buildings.
And the same happening in the South America, which is shared by Ashanti, So in South America, there is a very good example showing using the shipping containers as construction waste to fulfill the need of quick delivery housing. And also it is very easy to transport from different countries, and it's a quite sustainable way to think about the low income housing. And also there is a case study shared by Magdalena, which is the housing after a huge earthquake in Chile. And this type of house is mainly constructed by the wood material, and the country had been using the same emergency housing until 2010, which could also be an interesting inspiration for the project in Sierra Leone. And also another case study shared by Simon, which is using the waste material from the coffee production process, and they turn that into prefabricated blocks used for construction, and which can be assembled into homes without the use of specialized training or tools.
The slide given to us, the instruction, we have to do an introduction looking at the location of Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone is located on the west coast of West Africa. It shares its southwest boundaries with Liberia, and north half of the nation is surrounded by Guinea.
A map showing the geographical location of Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone is a tropical climate region, and Freetown is located on the peninsula with its water bodies and ranges of hills and mountains. Sierra Leone has two main seasons, the rainy season and the dry season. Its capital is Freetown with a population of 1,309,000 as at 2023.
An overview of the low-cost housing in Sierra Leone. There are distinctively two main low-cost housing in Sierra Leone. We have the Kisi and the 7th Battalion. And we take a look at the Kisi and the 7th Battalion as a case study.
So this is the map of the Kisi low-cost housing, indicated with the yellow line showing both the old low-cost and the new low-cost. Next slide, please. So the history of Kisi low-cost housing. The Kisi low-cost housing came into existence in the 1970s to 1980s by the Sierra Leone Housing Corporation. They say this project was an experiment to see whether people will like it and see if people will appreciate and want to live in these houses, because the Sierra Leonean mentality initially was that if you don't live in two or more story houses, those houses are for poor people. A flat house is for poor people. So that's why the government wanted to see if people appreciated it. Now, as you can see from the map, we have the old low cost and the new low cost. The old low cost was the initial houses. These are flats with 1 bedroom. For these flats were made so that the middle class or low class man can afford it. So as you can see from the low cost housing, as people started accepting these houses, then the government started to build new ones. And these both the whole low cost and the new low cost housing, we are divided into zones. The old low cost is divided into 3 zones, as you can see from the green, white, and blue. These these zones also have different arrangements and these different arrangements layout. As you can see from zone 1, it has a semi-detached house of 4 bedrooms each. And zone 2 also has a semi-detached house but 3 bedrooms apartment. And zone 3 again has a semi-detached house but both single and 2 rooms apartments. Now this is a typical layout of one of the housing units. As you can see here, this is a 3-bedroom with a living, a dining, kitchen, and a bathroom. And this plan is then mirrored to have a full unit house. Next slide. This is also another layout of these apartments. This is also, as you can see here, is also a 3-bedroom apartment with 2 verandas, both front and back verandas, and it has a store and a kitchen. And again, this apartment is also mirrored to have a full unit again. This unit is made up of brick house, and it has a concrete, steel, aluminum, and timber. And from the one at the bottom right, we can see it's made up of concrete blocks and also a concrete and these aluminum panels also. What we see here is not only done in the social housing. This is a typical Sierra Leonean way of doing things, especially the women or this housewife. Most of the time, let's say they don't want to be they don't want to stay idle at home. They will start up a business. These are some of the petty tradings done. They'll just do an extension. These we call them in our local buffers, where we just have like just petty things. It's not about shops, non containers. We call them here buffers, where women will just be and start doing their things.
One of the case study for our study was the 7th Battalion at Godrich, Freetown. These are one of the distinct locust housing in Sierra Leone. So the historical overview of the 7th Battalion housing, it was constructed to solve the housing problem in the country by providing these affordable homes for the people at reasonable cost. The government of Sierra Leone, after taking these units, they use it as housing the military officers and family members. 7th Battalion facility arranged in order of rows and column, wherein for the row there are about 8 over hundreds of houses in this area. Now, a typical layout of the 7th Battalion locust housing at Godrich. The arrangement of the layout. You first of all have a veranda coming to the living room with 2 bedrooms, a kitchen, and a bathroom. Although there have been some encroachments, whilst other people like large family members try to increase this facility by adding to this existing plan. Coming down to the materials, the whole structure is built with cement and also timber with steel, textured walls as a finish, and concrete floors as we go through the slide. Now, the materials and construction techniques, the tradition and the modern. For architectural design, mainly in our own region, we have courtyard communities, whilst the modern, we have facing the streets design, and for the tradition, we have round floor plans, whilst the modern buildings, we have freeform plans. The tradition, we have large common space, and modern, we have fragmented spaces. While the construction materials and methods, we have local materials found on the site of the building or brought from a nearby area. Materials are mostly imported or locally made with poor qualities for modern buildings. The cultural and social influence. As I told you earlier, there have been encroachments and additions to this building, this existing locust housing, because of family size and also to increase space. So people tend to add to this existing plan. So looking at also the arrangements, the streets. When you go through the streets, you can find petty trading going on, and the whole area lack marketplace. People tend to organize and make their backyard gardens. By the way, you can see there are backyard gardens around. This also facilitates the improvement of the people living in this area. Some beats said there are no good facilities for learning, so we took the school as a case study in order for us to go deeper and also add to the enhancement of this local housing. There is a need for a school in this area, and also another recreational activities. There are few, as I told you, there are few schools and other recreational activities. So there is a need for such facilities. Thank you very much.